Well, our first guest of the morning we're happy to have on is Major Brittanie Pruit, Commander for the South Patrol, as we get it rolling here in KCK for Back the Blue Tour Stop number 6. And Brittanie, good morning. Thank you for being here.
Good morning. Thanks for having us.
Well, let's just start off with your background. 17 years now with the KCK Police Department?
Yep, it'll be 17 years this July, actually.
Wow.
So.
Okay, so give me a rundown of kind of your resume, so to speak, and where you were year one to where you are now.
Definitely. So I started in 2007. I'm actually from a town just west of Wichita. I went to Kansas State University where I got my bachelor's degree in sociology. I actually met a lot of officers from Kansas City, Kansas Police Department at a recruiting event that they had at the college. Gave it a try. I figured I'd come to Kansas City. Thought it'd be a great place to work. Started here in 2007. I was in patrol for a few years. Worked in the chief's office as a PIO, planning and research. And then I went to the detective bureau for about 5 years. Became a captain. At that point in time, got my master's degree and then moved up to major. So
how have you seen things just change over your 17 years from when you got here in 2007 to, where we are today in 2024?
Yeah, when I started, it's definitely a little bit different time, and it's amazing how much things can change just over a short period of time, let alone from just the people that you deal with to technology. If I had to go back out in the field and do reports on a computer and figure out how to do that, I don't know. It'd take me quite some time.
That's
so,
right.
Yeah, it's definitely changed a lot.
Well, let's get to some of the things you have going on. Recruiting, let's just start there. I mean, I know that's been incredibly difficult for every department in the country the last few years, especially more urban departments. So what are you doing, and what are you guys trying to do to recruit officers in? Because I think you're down, about 60 from where you want to be.
We are. Unfortunately, it's across the board. So it's not just Kansas City, Kansas, but it's every agency. Right now we're seeing a lot of departments that are offering incentives to come, higher pay. But I will tell you that the pay is not going to make the job what it is. I think it's important for, those that apply that understand who they're working for and what agency, but also the community that they're going to work for. I will tell you that, coming from an outside community, it's Kansas City, Kansas is very tight-knit. They support their officers. We do a lot of community events to where we actually get to engage with them. So out of the chief's office, we do have a recruiting team that will go out to different schools, different colleges, but we don't just start with colleges. We start at high school levels. We have a cadet program during the summer that allows 18 kids to come in and kind of see what we do. So I think it's important for us to instill that mindset of what actually law enforcement looks like, but also at Kansas City, Kansas at a very young age.
I was going to say, is that a new initiative to try to get them even younger so they can really understand what you guys do and really, I guess, approaching high schoolers instead of college kids? Is that kind of a new deal that you've thought of?
I think that's something that we've come up with over the last few years, but it's really become more of a focus for us. It's engaging those high school kids who, may not have an idea of what they want to do.
Mm-hmm.
And it may not just be for the police department that they want to come work for, but it could be for the unified government. We get to show them around what the city does. And so I think that's important for them to see.
So, with this difficult recruiting cycle that you find yourself in, how much of it too is, poaching's the wrong word, but I know we talk to at all these places a lot of smaller communities where they just aren't getting the funding that they need. They don't have the technology that they need, and they're looking for more metropolitan-based departments. How much are you seeing of that from more rural areas?
Right. We do see some of the officers do come from rural areas. There's more opportunities with some of the bigger agencies, more chance for advancement. But we're not trying to take other officers from other agencies. We want them to come work here because this is a place that they feel like it's a career.
Yeah.
Some officers, they go for the next big paycheck or the next, what they think is going to be better for them. And I understand it to a certain point, but I think it's important to, if you're going to an agency, it's what you make of it, and it's what you put into it, and how well you engage with the community and the officers that you work with.
So what is that best pitch? Is you try to sell young people in particular on coming here to work for the Kansas City, Kansas Police Department. What do you say to them?
Yeah, I think it's all about seeing how our community is. Like I said, we are tight knit. I think it's important that they see that you're not just coming to a place for work. You're actually coming to give back to a community that you also live in. Mm-hmm. And so you get to engage with these people, on a daily basis, not just at work, but also where you live.
What about, and we're talking to Major Brittanie Pruit, Commander South Patrol, what about some of the initiatives that you guys have going on right now? What's on the table on that front?
Yeah, so we actually just got a $3.5 million grant from the DOJ. So this will allow us to fund 12 officers for a new squad that we created. It's the Community Violence Reduction Squad. Right now, we just put 2 into that group. So it's not just they're not just patrol officers. We're going to train them up on community engagement, different tactics, violence reduction, and so it's a whole. They're going to receive a lot of different training to allow them to assist the police department in dealing with issues that we may face.
So what are some so community violence reduction? What does that look like on the ground? What does that mean on a day-to-day that they're working on and they're trying to make sure people, I guess, are avoiding conflict before it leads to some type of deadly violence?
Right. So, we may have an incident in a specific area, and so we know that it's important for us to have high visibility in that area. So it means that I can put those officers in a specific area for a certain length of time. That could be 24 to 48 hours immediately after an incident. It's not just to solve that crime or whatever, but it's a sense of giving that community or that area security, right? It's knowing that, hey, we know that this is going on, we know what's happening, and it's just making sure that they see us in
So
that
is it
area.
like if there's beef between groups and maybe where they hang out, you're going to have more of a presence in these locations to deter anything from taking place in these
Definitely.
areas?
They're going to see us. They're going to see us a lot. Yep. I mean, That's not just engaging with those that may be, it's going to be engaging with the entire community out there. We're out on foot. We're going to be stopping vehicles. It's going to be making sure that everybody in that area sees us.
So this is a 12-person squad then that you're going to be putting together. Are these
Correct.
Internal candidates or these external?
It's all of our officers.
And this is the largest grant that you guys have received from the DOJ?
It is, yes.
Wow.
So 3.5 that's a lot of money, and it's fantastic for us to be able to receive because it funds those officers' positions and allows us to continue to reduce crime. We've seen over the last couple of years that crime has been going down.
Mm-hmm.
We could see this year, hopefully, fingers crossed, that it could be the lowest number of homicides that we've ever recorded. So I think that that'd be great for us.
That's outstanding. So, and by the way, is that a year program or how long is it till it runs out of money? How does that work?
Yep. So it just funds those positions, is what it does. Yep.
Okay.
So, yep.
That's outstanding. So, what else, when it comes to initiatives that you have on your docket with Patrol, are things that people who live in KCK don't know about, but should be hearing about?
Well, and I'm sure you probably heard it about across the state lines, right? I mean, about these shows
yes.
or those people, the
yes.
takeovers, right? And so it's
so
not
you guys
just,
have them too.
It's not Kansas City, Missouri.
They just get more attention over there because they're in front of Power and Light and stuff like that.
They do. Unfortunately, they take over some major intersections, but they do it here as well.
Okay.
And so we actually have, we have operations that we create to deal with these people because we know that once they leave Kansas City, Missouri, they come to Kansas City, Kansas, for vice versa. So we're always in talks with Kansas City, Missouri, and keeping up with where they're going. We know the intersections and we know the places that they like to come to. And it's, they may think that it's a lot of fun and it's cool and we're taking over a complete street, but we've seen violence come out of those. Not only people getting injured because of what they're doing, but we've had a homicide in relation to those as well. So they are inherently dangerous events that they are hosting.
I think I'm just out of touch here, but can someone explain the appeal of those things to me?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if it's their fancy cars or if it's their ruining their expensive tires that they've got.
Well, that's what I mean. I mean, look at inflation. Tires are like $200 a pop now. I don't understand it. So it's really just to put on a show, get attention.
Right.
It's just, I guess it's part of a culture as much as anything else.
Yeah, and we know that a lot of those people that attend those events, I mean, they're not some of the most upstanding citizens. We know that guns, we know that there's drugs involved with a lot of this. So it's not just a spectator thing where people go and watch. I mean, there is crime that is happening at these events as well.
And it's really, is it more important to basically nip those in the bud before they happen? Because once they're taking place, I mean, it can be pretty dangerous, I imagine, to get into some high-speed chase with these
Definitely.
people.
Yeah. We've got tactics that we're going to use. I mean, we we can kind of keep up as to where they're going, and we know, and we talk across the state lines. So we watch these groups and are going to know where they're going to go next.
And do you know where their hot spots are, I guess,
we
here
do.
in town?
Yep.
Okay,
So we've got a couple different locations, and it's important for those people to know that even if you're at those events and you're watching, you can still be cited.
You can be. Okay.
Definitely. Yep. So
wow. All
yep.
right.
So it's important for them to know that we don't tolerate that, and it's like we're not going to have that. Not only causing crime, but it's damage to property as well.
That's a great point. Well, Major Brittanie Pruit, thank you so much for being here, Commander for South Patrol. Appreciate all you're doing, and thanks for joining us on KCMO.
Thank you.